Tuesday.
Yep.
Drunkest he's ever been.
That's next week.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, there you go.
Believe so.
Yeah, I don't
Jimmy?
abide by that.
I know where
so.
I won't be.
Tanks.
Yeah.
Good.
I walked in there one night and Jimmy's playing, and I never hung out with Jimmy, and I only met Jimmy like once before, and I don't even think I remembered your name, but I walked in. I think it was with.
Oh, go figure.
Yeah.
Just like the poor woman from Wilkes-Barre.
Well, she should move in with me. Maybe I'll remember her name.
Not gonna lie to you. Jimmy is the woman from Wilkes-Barre.
Sometimes I wake up and I smell his breath.
Do you remember me now, Marky? Do you remember me now? Now I live with you, Marky.
Well, you're putting
I told you I would have you one day,
He's like-
Marky.
He's like Buffalo Bill in there right now.
It's chapstick.
Yeah. Hard fuck me.
Goodbye, horses.
So Jimmy, I'm like, oh my God, you're the Push guy.
Yeah.
And you're in a band and you're playing the guitar. That's amazing. We should do shots. And you're like,
we were in
Jimmy has
line
this-
getting shots, getting free shots while we were doing that. 'cause
Yeah,
the
we
girls
were
walking
waiting for
around.
shots, and as the girls were walking by, I was grabbing more shots, waiting, and so, yeah,
That was rough.
it was amazing.
Don't
And then-
forget the release of the Push CD also pushed my recording back for a bit. And I'd be
Did
talking,
it?
Yeah, I was talking to Jimmy, like, Jimmy, what's this project? He goes, oh, it's a Push, and he'd play me a Push song, and it's it's like, Push comes to shove.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is awesome, Jimmy. Like, he's like, well, yeah, it's supposed to be funny. I'm like, oh, like, it's like, okay, thank God this is supposed to be funny. 'Cause at first he's like, I'm going to try to get it done. We're going to get it pressed and mastered. And I was like, oh, I'd love to hear it. And it was like, I'm like, oh, this sounds great.
Jimmy, have you ever played that totally straight? Like, just gave somebody that and be like, "No, this is deadly serious."
No, that's a really good idea, though.
It is.
I did.
You
I
need to
actually
do that.
lost my Push CD.
but you
I
loved
got
it,
a
didn't
couple
you?
more for you.
Well, the person who stole it loves it.
But when you heard it, you loved
Jerk.
it.
I thought it was funny.
But see, like how
Well, so
funny
it wasn't
the
really
Push
lost;
is.
it was found.
Well, I didn't tell him that it was supposed to be funny.
Well, that's good.
he just
maybe,
kinda-
maybe I should just
You should start giving out.
give it out. What do you think?
Well, there's enough people around here that I feel like are stuck in the 80s that they would probably appreciate it, because there's a lot of 70s and 80s influence music in there. So I feel like they would just,
talk about Jimmy making lemonade, man.
right.
It's like
I mean, this is really the area to release something like
Right.
that. You got to
it's like
capitalize.
they stopped making it, so I'm just going to capitalize on that market.
I
Just
took
hit
my
Walmart.
wife to the release party, and
I remember.
she didn't know what was going on. I
Actually,
made it a point not to tell her, and she was like, this is our big night out, so we came in here, and you guys were up there, and she's like, oh, this is. Oh, I'm like, it's funny, right? She's like, it is. It's funny, right? It's funny, and I was like, yeah, it's supposed to be funny. She's like, thank God. She's like, yeah, it's funny. So we put your CD in because she loved all the Christmas videos and all that stuff.
Yeah.
How about the 8-minute drum solo? Were you here for that when Brophy did the 8-minute drum solo?
We had 2 drum sets hooked up or set up.
Yeah,
side by
we didn't
just
have enough
as
room on
one.
the stage. We had to build the back out on the stage then we had to make it so that Brophy's drum throne could go 2.5 feet higher, so that he could hit every drum that was there.
We did some walking around out there during the show, and I remember telling you, I was like, hey man, the Push CD sounds good. It's funny. I love it. That's going to be nothing like my record whatsoever. Like Get Out, like like that's fun.
Get it out of your
I
system.
get the shtick. Like I like that you did that. That's not what I do. It's not my thing. But like, it looks good on you. I just don't want that
Wear it
anywhere
well.
near me. Like, just, let's not do anything like that. And you're like, yeah, I know. I got you. I know.
No record crackles.
And that started from a drum record, didn't
No
it?
record crackles or no harmony leads. What it started-
Harmony leads.
Oh yeah, that's
But didn't that whole concept of that come from you guys found a drum loop record?
my dad had records from the 70s that were written. Yeah, 70s that were written for songwriters. They were just drum beats. It'd be like slow rock ballad, medium rock ballad.
And he would play these drum tracks for me, just the drums. And,
Yes.
and he'd go, we're making a song to this. I'm like, That's awesome.
Well, it's
Jimmy.
like you can't go wrong because you already have the record crackles in there. You already have a 70s drum sound. It's just a matter of throwing the chords on top of it.
He's like, one day this will be a record. I'm like, that's great, Jimmy.
You're the first band ever to make a song based
Follow
around
your
the
dreams.
drum track.
A full album.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams.
There's many people in this area that have tried with that same album. We finished from start to finish with it. Drum
Remember
drops.
we had the-
volumes 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Remember we had the drums to Lay Down Sally?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we were like, no. I think I hurt myself, came back, finally off the painkillers. I was like, let's get rid of these drums immediately. You're like, okay, I see that.
At the same time, about 3 to 4 years ago, there were a lot of multi-tracks that were leaked out on the internet. Lots of them because of documentaries that were being done, because of Rock Band, because of Guitar Hero, because they incorporate the multi-tracks into their the game. So if you mess up the guitar part will shut off. If you mess up the drums, it'll turn the drums off. So these hackers were able to go in and take those stems out of the game. So I have the audio of like the drums, just the guitars, just the bass, just the vocals, which was like is an incredible tool in itself because you can go back and listen to all these things that you can't hear on a regular pass through the song that are kind of buried in the bottom. So one of the songs that Tom was working on kind of had a similar beat to Lay Down Sally. And if you listen to the drums on Lay Down Sally, it just sounds like somebody's playing with brushes. But there's a very significant delay, like a tape delay going that's in time with the playing, so you don't really even know there's a delay there.
Why don't you cue that track up right now, Jimmy?
We tried it. But that's, I mean, it's a really...
Well, that's how you find like the nuance of everything. 'Cause
Right,
you
so
really let me
it's
listen to like the Tom Petty stuff
Right.
and like his vocals, like the headphone bleed is incredible.
Yep. Yeah, so like I use those as an educational tool because you listen to it and listen to what other producers were doing and try to apply things like that yourself and come up with new ideas yourself.
Sure.
Because if they came up with this, let me try that.
And let me tell you one thing about those multi-tracks is Jimmy got the multi-tracks for what was it, Snoop?
Yeah.
What song was it? My Name Is? Or What's My Name? It was Gin and Juice or something
Yeah,
like
I think
that.
it was Gin and Juice.
But when you listen to the multi-tracks of that, you're like, holy shit, is there
There's
a lot
real
of
guitar
stuff
in there.
here?
Like, there's real like distorted guitars in there, like things that you don't, like all the electronic parts of it overshadow the.
I hear them all, Jimmy. I hear them all.
Well, you have a discerning ear, as you've proven to me.
Don't you dare call my ear anything.
Well, Tom, on your album too, I don't feel like you stuck to one genre or one influence. From song to song, it really is very different. And that's another thing that's very different from a lot of solo albums. You hear they usually kind of go for the same tone most of the time, but you really each track is kind of a surprise. It's different. It's like a journey, and I appreciate that. Was that because you had done these in so many different sessions, or was that your intention from the beginning?
I think the overall kind of feel of the song was something that developed in the studio for sure. Playing these songs live now, it's a different feel, somewhat, because the record and live performance will always be different. But I think we did a good job of capturing and kind of making the songs shine in different genres with that was crazy. You could hear that. Mm-hmm. I think that it was just kind of where could we take it, and there are many songs in there that we took different directions that didn't quite work out, and some of them worked out immediately. I think that was a testament of what we were doing in the studio, which was there was a lot of fun, but we were very serious. Believe it or not, we were very serious.
Yeah, we joke about it, but that's because you gotta bring light.
90% of the time.
If you didn't joke about it and just if we were just technical on everything, it would suck.
Right.
You have to have fun with it.
anything
you have to, like any kind of art, you have to have
fun
with
in it.
Right.
If you're not having fun with it, why are you doing it?
Right.
As soon as it feels like a job, then
And like I really believe that the fun that we have with it that makes its way out into the final product, because listening to it, you can hear that we had a lot of things that we experimented with, and if we weren't having fun, we wouldn't have gone that far with it.
I mean, isn't this kind of like a departure from the stuff that you normally, in a way, like especially with the instrumentation and
Well, I think that each release you grow with technically and getting older and willing to take more risks, and also being confident and willing to do whatever you want, because there's no one really behind you that's turning the knobs. That's really telling you to do anything a certain way. I think that's a strength that we've had to this record, and I'm happy with it, and I stand behind it. And then it's a moment of time in my life that we spent making this record, and can't wait for people to hear it.
And it goes on sale. Well, today's Monday,
Right.
but it goes on sale at midnight on February 10th.
It does, yeah. And it had some release shows so far, and that was great. And looking forward to.
Oh, how'd the bog thing go on Friday? Sorry, I couldn't
great.
make it. I feel like a horse's ass.
Yeah, you had a listening party.
Yeah, I did a listening party, which and art show too. I did posters for each one of my shows for the past 2.5 years. So there was 200 plus posters to choose from. So I think they're still at the bog. There's maybe 30 there, and played the CD I think like 4 or 5 times.
Cool.
Sold some copies and got to see some people I haven't seen in a while. So
Did you get? I mean, what's the feedback like?
you know what? It was cool. There were people kind of listening and following along with the CD, kind of like, oh, what track are we on now? But yeah,
Ask Jimmy.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Commonwealth.
But the overall response was great. But it was also a lot of people that I know that wouldn't.
Yeah.
So,
But I think it's awesome. So that's just me.
And you
Thanks.
play out live quite a bit. Obviously
Yes.
you had all these posters from how many different shows and stuff. And you were at the Susquehanna Breakdown.
Yep.
And you also played Peach Fest.
Yep, 2 years.
Which is really cool.
Sure, yeah, it was fantastic.
How does that you're playing everything from a brewery to a bar to something like this, do you vary your sets and you vary your sound depending on that, or
Not really. I think where I'm at now is there are some shows where I'm playing by myself as a one-man guitar and vocals, some with Bill Warner on drums, some with other musicians as well. And I think that's kind of, each night is different, but you still have the same, I wouldn't say chip on your shoulder, but you kind of go out there and you want to really like prove yourself and let people know that you're still playing and you're still relevant and you're still hardworking and you still love what you're doing and you do it because you do love it and you hopefully it matters to someone.
Do you still go out and play shows like that where you're like, I got something to prove every show?
Oh yeah, every show. Sure.
I just didn't.
I love that. Yeah.
So that's part of you're just like, it's almost like Apollo Creed, or you're just like, I'm gonna go out there and.
No, I'm not looking to kick anyone's ass.
No, I'm not saying that like in a violent way, but you still, you
Sure,
probably
I'm-
treat, your last show like you did your first show.
I'm confident and I have a lot of fun, and it's different for me. If I can get people listening and buying CDs now, that's fantastic. I want as many people as I possibly can to hear my music, and whatever I have to do to make that happen, I'll deliver what I can in a way that makes me proud of my music and my performance and myself.
I just like going to your shows, man. I'm just saying. I just didn't know that
Yeah.
because nobody ever asked, like,
It's
what do you
also
think
a
of when you're
cool
on
hang.
stage?
There's some cool people there. Yeah, it's I play all types of rooms and I'm comfortable in 99% of them.
Except for this room.
Hey,
It's weird.
hey, you spend a lot of time in this room.
Yeah, it's weird with the lights up, and if you know what I'm saying. Put the lights down, I'll show you how I did it. All right.
Jimmy, so that whole session was pantsless, right?
No, we had pants on.
Well, in a
No,
creative
he was
sense.
pantsless.
In a creative sense.
It was pantsless.
Yes, in a creative.
In a creative sense.
Dance pants?
No.
No. This is just completely naked
Wow.
in a creative sense.
Right.
Tom and I were.
Strictly creatively.
creatively naked.
I was pressing the play button completely nude, and he was just performing nude,
Turning knobs.
turning knobs in a creative sense.
So, do you have any shows coming up?
Yes, I do. You're not talking very much today. I got here and you're like cat scratch fever, talking this, talking that, and
Talk about cephalopods and bioluminescence.
Yes.
We lost her at Tupac, I think.
We did.
Mark
I think we
cuts
lost
me
her at
off.
Sarah McLachlan.
Cuba and Tupac. And Sister. Type that into Google when you
She's
get
like,
a
I
chance.
can't believe I shared my bargain bin scores. I can't believe they got that out of me.
That's a great album. I think that Sarah McLachlan album's awesome.
And Shaquille O'Neal's was terrible.
Yeah.
So we got a good and we got a bad.
Yeah.
Shows, yes. Weather permitting. No, I've got.
They're all outdoor in February?
Well, you got to get there. Hey, you driving? I'll make you a poster.
Dude, I will drive you anywhere, sir.
Thank you.
To a show. To a show.
all right.
Not if you're like, I got to go to Garrity's.
You can be my Uber.
Ugh.
Binghamton on Thursday at the Galaxy Brewing Company, and then Friday at Sarah Street Grill in Stroudsburg. Yeah, I'm not actually in town for a couple weeks, but I did my stuff this past weekend, and I got my website, tomgrahammusic.com. You can check out all my shows, and I do that all myself. So it's that's what it is. It's
You're
no
on
one
Facebook too.
Yeah, I'm on the face page.
Are you facebook.com/Tom Graham?
Tom Graham Music.
Tom Graham Music.
Yeah, I'm Tom Graham Music for everything.
Do you have Twitter?
Yes, the Tom Graham.
Do you have Instagram?
The Tom Graham. Yeah,
think
I love Instagram. That's probably my favorite.
Do you know what Reed Miller called Instagram?
No.
To me, when Instagram first came out,
What?
he goes, "That's Guitar Hero for photographers."
He loves it now, which is very
then
funny.
like a month and a half
Yeah.
later, it's like Jason Reed Miller just signed up for Instagram, and I'm like,
Good.
friend
Yep.
request.
You're
Even
allowed.
musicians like to play Guitar Hero once in a while.
I love. Do you know what? I love.
No.
When I.
I couldn't.
Did you ever see
even
Dave
figure
Mustaine
that
try to
out.
play Guitar Hero?
No.
It's hysterical. Guitar Hero and Rock Band.
Why
were
would
like-
you want to do that if you're a musician?
Well, that's
It's
what he
like-
did. He got like 2 seconds into a Megadeth song, and he's like, "This is fucking retarded."
It's like being a surgeon and going home and playing Operation for the rest of the night. You're like, you know what I really need to do? I really need to play a game with something I do for a living.
so. When I lived in LA, like we do like
I
12.
play home run derby because I cannot hit home runs.
I'm gonna explain why it works, Guitar Hero, because
No,
so I did. That was like my therapy was Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
that explains everything.
I know, and I'd be so into it, and I'd be so good at it. And now I got Jimmy. I'll tell you, Jimmy, what's the new game I got?
Fantasia.
Oh yeah,
It's
it works
awesome.
with the Kinect, and you actually like conduct like Elton John songs and all this shit. So I look like a maniac.
Who's
but
playing them?
Wait,
The TV is. So it's like Rocket Man, but then you can change, like they do remixes and stuff, so you can do like the whole Mickey
but you
Mouse.
do.
Oh, you're like this, you're moving, and it's awesome. And if you have to like hold stuff and spin it, but it's all because the Kinect sees your silhouette, so it moves all about like that. And then you can do remixes and stuff like that. So like it'll be like 3 or 4 a.m. Like Jimmy will get home from a gig. And
Can
I have
you
the thing blasting.
videotape some of that?
Oh, I
Yeah,
he
I
has.
think
He
you need
has.
to do
I just
that.
need to. I'm compiling my secret library of blackmail.
So I was.
So
I
what
was-
songs have you conducted? What's your resume so far?
Oh my God, there's just so many.
Lord. Royals.
I did Lord.
It's cool though, because like inside the game, just like Rock Band had the multi tracks. It's just all alternate mixes to the songs, which are really cool. And a lot of them are real instruments in the remix. So like I don't know, some of them you could take out the synth bass and put a real bass guitar in there. You could take out the other whatever other instruments and put in like somebody playing an acoustic guitar and
Yeah, so
you're
like some of them are like
the same vocals, so you're hearing the same song in a completely different light, and it makes you appreciate music a little bit more. Like
But
not
you're
really
conducting
modern
it.
music at least.
cost me $90.
Have you been playing a lot of this lately?
Not recently.
No.
Not like in the last like 3 weeks. Well, not since I was doing it, and I'm doing it, and I found out that Jimmy hopped on the couch behind me and was conducting and filming me at the same time,
You know what's fun,
making
Mark?
fun of me. And then, but then the Kinect saw him, so it started fucking up my moves. So, because it's yeah, I look like
The bunny ears are like the
Yeah.
sign for the signal for the timpani.
Yeah, there's a couple of Queen songs on there too.
Yeah, they Bohemian Rhapsody. It's awesome. I have so much, but it's like a workout. You know, by the end of it,
So-
you go,
That's what Mark likes to say to justify.
Hey, Marky.
as
hit
I'm
the gym.
smoking,
Nope,
doing.
Nope,
Yeah.
I gotta go organize Rocket Man tonight. We got Benny.
I'm smoking, conducting.
It wasn't me that was messing up the notes. It was just all the smoke.
Jimmy, watch this. Fucking Benny and the Jets. Is that on there?
I'm just kidding.
Marky, you're sweating like crazy. Just go for a run? Nope. Lord Royals. 15 minutes.
If by Lord Royals you mean run, yes.
I've been running hard. Sprinting.
I'm gonna beat that game. I'll show all you guys.
How do you beat
All y'all.
How does
I have to. Each
some
song
conductor
you do,
princess comes out of the end.
No.
You're like,
Each song you do, like you open up new musical realms, and you get like more stars on your magic hat.
What?
It's really messed up, but I love it. It's so much fun. It's called Fantasia
But-
Evolved.
But does it follow your baton hand?
There is
and
no
your-
baton. It's not like a conductor. You're literally like, remember Fantasia when Mickey Mouse was going like, and all the brooms were
Yeah.
walking. I mean, that's basically what you do.
So which version of Barbara Allen did you go with?
You know
fuck
what?
you.
I'd also like to talk about this video that we shot a couple weeks ago.
What about it?
While you're doing Fantasia at home.
That's why I haven't done it in weeks. I haven't done it in a few weeks.
We will have some video releases in the next couple weeks. Right? Next couple weeks?
I'd probably say in like the next week or two. Yeah.
Next week or two.
Yeah.
I love it.
25/8. Did you see?
I saw a version of it. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you know what the horrible thing is?
Was
like,
it awkward for you, or was
Oh, it was
like,
wonderful.
comfortable? Okay.
It was wonderful.
Yeah, I don't know about how much I want to talk about it, but just because of.
I won't say anything. But
Okay, I'll do something without giving it away. Can I say something without giving it away?
Sure.
All right. So Tom calls me up and he goes, "Hey man, would you mind, or would you like to do a video for one of my tunes?" And I'm like, "Okay." And when do you want to do it? And we kind of synced up our schedules, and it was like a Wednesday at like 6:00, and he shows up, and I'm like getting all this like stuff ready to do like this big
Legit.
music video.
fucking music video.
Yes.
Which I'm like, Tom, thanks for thinking of me, and then, I hope I can make you happy. And then we like agonized over like, setting everything up. This is before Tom even got here. I'm like lighting stuff. I'm like, I don't know if that'll work. And then I had Lee there moving shit, and then we got like floors, and we got like all this stuff. So then the song starts immediately. So like the vocal starts like the moment you hit play. So it's like song starts, like he's already singing. So I said to Tom, I said, all right, I'll give you a count, like a 3, 2, 1, when the vocal will start. Just so the world knows, what's the song? 3.5 minutes?
I'm not sure.
I think it was like 3:45.
I don't know track times.
So let's say the
7
song's
years, man.
So let's say the song's like 3 minutes 45 seconds, right?
I think it's like 4.
Okay, 4 minutes. So the song's 4 minutes. So, and I'm doing it all by myself. So I hit record on the camera. I run over to the Bose system so you can do playback, so you can hear the song, right? And I go 3, 2, 1, hit the button. And 4 minutes later, he goes, "Okay, we're done." And I'm not going to tell anybody else about what it is. That's what happened. And I remember I looked at you. What did I say? I was like,
Are you fucking kidding me? And I go,
and then you go, "Let's go look at it."
let's go see how that turned out. And we did. And I looked, yep.
Do you want an extra take just in case?
Yeah,
I
he
said
did.
that. I'm like,
He did.
I
Do
said,
you want like another take? I said, nope. Nope, that's good. Mark,
and I said, "Tom, this is the easiest fucking music video I ever did." And he goes, "Yeah, now I want you to do this." And I was like, I'm screwed. I'm screwed.
I want you to turn me into Mickey Mouse and Fantasia.
and then, well, the
And
problem.
then I said, have that to me by tomorrow at 5.
and
Or
the
you're
thing
fired.
about, and the thing about like, and the thing about it is like, I'm always the guy who's like, somebody comes up with an idea where it's like, "Hey, we should go to the moon," and I'm like, "Yes, we should go to the moon, and we should take a rocket ship, and then we should build a casino, and then we need an Arby's, and then we need," where it's like, and Tom's just like, "I just wanted to go to the moon, man." And I'm trying to come up with all this different shit. Remember, we were sitting there for like an hour, and you looked at me, and you're like, "Why? What are you doing?" So
Please.
It's impossible though.
yeah,
You couldn't really go to the moon.
but like in a week or
There's
two,
aliens up there protecting it.
There's not aliens up there.
So that'll be out soon.
Jimmy,
which will
stop.
be good. I'll be happy when that comes out.
I'm excited. It looks good. I just want you to be happy with it. That's why I'm like. So that's why I'm waiting to present it to you. But I did see the other one. I think the other one's really good.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm
very
Voyager
impressed.
video.
Lindsay and Dave did an amazing job on it.
Great job.
Which is what I thought that I was going, something along the lines of that. And then you totally.
So will we see this video? Are you gonna can we repost it for you or whatever?
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as it gets done.
Tom, fuck off. Like, I'm trying to do the best I can.
No. It's good. It's funny to I think that you definitely had a different idea. I know for a fact you did. And I was kind of laughing at you like
You didn't even let me in on it.
I was like, no, Marky. Like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, get the no. He's like, well, like,
I'm like, well, what if we get like a kick drum?
Yeah.
And you went along with me on everything. You're like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then we did it, and he's like, all right, we're done. And I'm like, but, huh?
But
Like, there's even text messages to Jimmy going like, hey man, can I use your kick drum
Yeah.
and your foot pedal?
I'll be right over.
Yeah,
if
he
you
was
need
on his
any
way
help.
to get it to me.
I show up, it's already you. You
Tom didn't tell me shit.
finished with your watch through and everything. It was completely finished.
Yeah, by the time you got here, Tom was done.
Yeah.
He's like, that's it. And I'm like, oh.
It was so funny. Just your reaction was like,
I think Lee
And
was
I had
still
this poor girl
Lee
here.
was still out in the warehouse setting up.
that's right. I forgot. Oh my gosh, I forgot about her.
Yeah, there was this girl that showed up.
She wanted to learn.
She wanted to she wants to be like an intern in the summer, and I'm like,
She's like, I'm hearing this video.
and I'm
This
telling
is
her,
how
I'm
it's
like-
done.
I'm like, look, I said, we'll do this, and then we'll do like coverage of it and all that stuff. And she's like, oh, okay, like I'm really excited to learn about this. And then I did I hit record on the camera. I did the 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
And then the next 4 minutes happen, and you're like, all right, we're done. And fucking Graham walks away, and the girl looks at me like, what just happened? And I'm like, this never happens. I don't know what just happened.
I forgot.
And she didn't know what to do. She was like,
she hung out for a little bit longer. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go.
I was trying to be nice. I'm like, are you hungry? Do you need a water?
I'm so sorry. You're like, I'm so sorry.
I'm like, this never happens. I have no idea what this
Tom,
is.
do you want to try something with the kick drum?
No.
No.
Just to like have something to cut. No.
Nope.
Okay.
So that would be a lot funnier when we see it.
I was working on it today, and it's just the process is just arduous. So that's why it's taking a while, because I'm trying to like fit it in amongst like. I think of my life as like this. I think of my life as like this bookshelf at the library that's crammed by books, and I'm just trying to like wedge it in there somewhere to make it look complete. So that's why I'm like.
Well,
That's why it's taking
I
a
think it
while.
looked good
Cool.
the day after you shot it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I pulled her in and I said, watch what happened to me last night.
I wanted to make it as easy as possible for me.
And you did. You really did. You really did. And she
I'm
loved
done.
it. She thought it was great. It works. It works totally well. It's amazing. It's just now it's
No, I don't think
I
you
have
need
to
it.
finish it.
You don't need it.
All right, well, we'll talk about it afterwards. Because I don't want to spoil the surprise I'm not the spoiler guy. It's that good.
So seriously, was it Charlestown with the Barbara Allen, or did you choose one of the other versions?
Why are you so hard up on this?
I like that song.
Yeah.
At midnight, you can get it.
Well, you already have a copy.
give you one
I
right
do.
now. You want one?
I'm gonna listen to it in the car.
All right.
She has a copy.
I do.
I'm taking mine though. But I'm still gonna download it
skipping
from
right to
iTunes.
Barbara Allen. That's gonna happen.
All right. Sorry, Rich. We occupied all.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will.
I think that the best thing about releasing music is that someone else has it to have time to do what they want, either in the car or the backyard or whatever. That's where that means the most to me.
Or in Jimmy's case, the shower.
Jimmy.
Right. I can't bring my phone in the shower.
Oh, you've already heard the record. No. I'm not going to be like, damn it, you're listening to that stuff on your phone? All the stuff we did with that. It is a good headphones record.
It is. Though that's another thing we kept in mind as we were mixing it. a lot of different placement of things. So it's a completely different experience if you listen to it with headphones.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fine tooth comb.
Remember that?
Yep. A lot of little automations and things we did.
I can only think of the comb in the desert in Spaceballs.
found shit.
There's actually a point we had we had Zach Cole from Rogue Chimp come in here, and that was a fun.
That was awesome.
Because I played the drums that was on the track Romantics. I do like a little spoken word in between. I played the bass. I played the drums. You played a little guitar. And then we had Zach Cole come in and he played like 6 or 8.
Yeah, did all
tracks
different kinds of keys. He had a really
and
cool
ripped it.
synthesizer.
Like he was having a blast. So then
try that again with the church organ. Okay, we'll try it again now with the clav. Like,
Yeah.
and then everyone had every single one had.
So
its
he
own
was done.
flavor.
We're like, all right, see ya. And he left. And by the end of the day, we had everything kind of cut and pasted where we wanted it to go. But one of the things that we did was there's a little trill on the piano that we have it totally panned. So when you're driving, you can actually just trill on the piano.
Yeah.
And it's just so funny every time I hear that. I'm like,
I remember he put down like, I don't even think he sat down and listened to what he did. It was just like we just kept hitting play and starting it over, and he
Yeah.
would just jam to it every time. And then
and you and I just looked at him like,
wow, we want more of that. So when he was finished,
you
I
do
remember
that again,
I
please?
unmuted every single track and played all of his tracks at once, and it sounded amazing.
Yeah.
It was just like there's no
Even though
wrong
he did different things with different.
Yes.
No, there was no way of mixing it the wrong way, or no way of like chopping it and getting the wrong
Yeah,
sound out
just
of
a
it.
matter
It
of
just
getting
sounded
the
awesome no
feel of
matter
it.
what you did with it.
but you and I were just like,
Yeah.
What the?
Yeah,
fuck
when
is
we
happening?
when we
He was
sat there
so
to go
good.
through the track, we were more like we were just more making other things quieter to make the parts that we liked stick out. That's all it really was, because there was so much good stuff there that we kind of picked our favorites and let them be the
Yeah.
ones that popped out.
He's a brilliant musician.
it was incredible. And then when
Yeah.
we brought that to Eric Ritter to mix, he's like, oh man, he's so good. And we're like, we know.
Yeah.
We know. We were like,
Yeah, that's why he's on this album.
yes. And then Brophy came in and did the drums on
And
two
of them.
songs.
Yeah, 2 of the songs, and he came. Yeah,
He killed it. He was
Yeah.
great. He was a lot of fun.
definitely. Yeah,
He's
it was,
a wild man. He reminds me of Animal from the Muppets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's the same thing. He's really resilient, and like you say something to him. Here, how about try this? Like he just.
I remember
At
I was
first-
giving him hand signals from in there.
Yeah.
I was doing
Yeah.
the freaking Fantasia.
Yeah, got some video. of that.
Yeah.
We got that on video
Yeah.
actually.
See,
But
you might have been able.
But it was
to do it.
it was real life. It
with
wasn't a
Brophy
video
at
game.
first,
Fuck you. This is my real life.
with Brophy, he'll be like, okay. And you don't really think he listened to what you just said, but he did, because when he does it, he does what you told him to do.
Yeah,
He's
he was
such a
great
good
to
drummer.
He is
man.
great. Yeah.
He's one of those multi hyphenate.
Well,
musicians.
again, talking about Phil Collins, to bring him back into the mix here, he's a
We
he's a-
mentioned it
Very
once as a
important.
joke.
No, but seriously, Phil Collins and Genesis, he's inspired by them, like in a percussive way, because he was explaining to me one time about all these
On the
different
phone.
No, this was in person.
What's going on?
Wait, you
About
talked
all
to
these
Phil
different.
Collins?
No, Brian. He was showing me because I was like,
Brophy.
Jimmy, that's a dangling participle.
what?
What you just said.
What did I say?
You just associated the verb with the subject that didn't exist in the sentence.
Phil Collins.
Tell me about Brophy.
So we were listening to Genesis one day, and I was like, "Oh, what makes you such a big fan of Phil Collins?" And he's like, "Would you ever listen to his drumming?" And I'm just like, "How many times can I say I'm sorry?" That's all I hear. But when Brian stood there and showed me, like, I forget what song it was like all these crazy different time signatures and drums that I didn't even know what was going on. It was like, instead of like a 4/4 time, it was like a 3/11 timing with something else, all these different things. He was pointing out all these crazy different timings, and it really made me think
Appreciate.
twice. Yeah, I now have a new outlook on Genesis and Phil Collins, because they're amazing drummers. But the fact that Brian can understand what he's listening to and all those terms, that's why, that helps.
He
And
nailed it.
That's a testament to his playing ability. That
He's
he can
amazing.
understand that.
But that's it. That
Yeah.
was the only people who were on the record.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, the rest was just
Me and
we
you
saw,
there,
yeah.
Skippy.
yeah. Yeah.
A lot of time together in those trenches.
I.e.
So would you do it again?
Of course. I wouldn't even think about it. I would do it.
You'd have to think about it.
No, I already made my mind up.
Oh, okay, cool.
He really has. Like whether you want to believe
Concept
it or not.
album.
Oh my god,
Oh my
that'd
God.
be amazing.
No, wouldn't you even know what the concept is? You're like, I don't care. I'm into it.
The concept is, well, just the fact that it's a concept album, that concept is a concept in itself. And it's yes
True.
to me.
What if I told you that Underneath the Rusting Roof is a concept album?
I'd be disappointed that I didn't ask you more questions about the lyrics.
See, that's why I love Rick. He wasn't like, well, tell me your feelings about track 4. I'd be like, Jimmy, just
Do your job, okay?
hand me that shaker.
And by the way, there's an extra little piece of wave file on my vocal there. Take it off, okay?
I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to sabotage this.
One dropped frame at a time.
Remove that, would you?
No, it was a lot of fun, and I would definitely do it again. And I was even thinking too, like I would co-produce somebody else with you, if that would ever be something you're interested in.
What does that even mean?
I would love to do that.
Like if there's
Yeah.
another artist that's interested,
Sure.
have Tom and I both produce that person's album. Because
a lot of fun.
I know
I can
how
hear
Tom and I can work
hear all the
together.
things that you're hiding on their tracks in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
don't.
Don't do that to them.
Yes. Mute that track. What is that thing there?
You're only supposed to hide that in my tracks. Now that you're cheating on me. No, but I would definitely, because like I said, having a chemistry with somebody that you can work with and have ego put to the side and not be afraid to tell somebody if it's working, if it's not working. I think Tom and I are at a point where we can definitely hone in on what the song is and what's best for the song.
Yeah, and I think I don't know. Maybe it's my preconceived notion that I'm totally wrong about, because I can't tell you what an F sharp is or like a C or anything like that. But it seems like, especially in you guys too, like being in creative endeavors with people where every new project is something new. I don't. People take some people take criticism personally, and you can't because you're everybody has the same goal, which is to make the best absolute thing possible.
Absolutely.
Without slitting anybody's throats with samurai swords, and that's kind of like the hard part, where it's like sometimes whether people realize it or not, sometimes you're not only looking out for the project, but sometimes you're just trying to save somebody from making a mistake.
Sure. I mean, there's no pressure. I think that's the biggest aspect of it. There was zero pressure.
Well, Tom telling me that something doesn't work isn't Tom saying to me, Jim, you're
an idiot.
You're a terrible guitar player, or me suggesting something different. Me saying to Tom, you're a terrible songwriter. Like that's not even anything in there. But I think
fucking
people
accordion, that accordion.
But
That
people
was a
that
mistake.
People that are inexperienced with it or
It's like an
still
electric
hold that ego, I feel like
mandolin.
they can't make that distinction. And that's important.
Yeah, and it's look, like your job is to facilitate what the artist is trying to get across.
Right.
You know?
Then you take something abstract and make it something concrete.
not take it over, but maybe at some points try to help somebody think outside of the box. Well, maybe try this. If it doesn't work, at least we'll know that it didn't work.
Oh, sure. We definitely pushed each other in different directions and to different things, and sometimes it didn't
Because
work.
I can only assume that some of Jimmy's ideas must have been left field, man. The
No,
accordion.
the accordion. Yes, we agreed on most of the things that
Right,
we
but
thought.
that's the fun of it. It's like, let me
There
try
were
something
points
you're not
where we
expecting.
said we can almost hear it already, and it wasn't there, and we were like, we should add it, and then we were like, wait a minute, maybe we shouldn't add it if we can hear it. Let's do something completely different, and then 3 weeks later, we ended up adding it anyway. We're like,
My
oh,
favorite
God.
was People Run for Miles again, because you wanted to challenge yourself of not having a song start with an acoustic guitar or have an acoustic guitar in it at all.
Yeah, there's no acoustic on
because
that whatsoever.
you commonly play acoustic guitar and use that in your music. So it was like, that was your idea. Let's try this without an acoustic guitar and see where we end up without it.
But
And
did
that
you
was
lay
fun.
down acoustic guitar to kind of put the
in
tracks
the original track? But like I was saying before, we had to redo his vocal parts because there was still like a little hint on that song in particular. Like when we were demoing it without the acoustic guitar, and before he redid his vocals, I had to put a strong gate on his vocals, but you'd hear like a little bit of the acoustic guitar, plus you'd hear like certain words being chopped off. But he eventually went back, redid the vocals, and it's awesome without an acoustic guitar. But it was something you decided just to push yourself creatively.
I think that's just I think that's a powerful song. I think it's a really
Definitely.
good song.
Cool.
And I think it's a good, that's
We'll have to shoot a video for that one, Marky.
yeah. Let me know when I need to put that half hour aside.
Is that a bad thing?
It's the after.
Oh,
Where can we hear these songs?
post production. Where?
Yes.
You'll be able to hear it everywhere tonight. It's going to be iTunes, Spotify. It's going to be everywhere. Locally,
Google Play.
Locally, Joe Nardone's Gallery of Sound. It's a whole digital distribution. It's going to be everywhere.
the Pirate Bay.
I have a store. Yeah.
.se.
Too soon. I have an online store on TomGrantMusic.com too for physical copies that I can mail out. And
You can't. You're never gonna beat that.
What?
The stuff like the Pirate Bay.
No, because you can't beat the price of free, right?
You can't beat free.
No, but you know what's
people are gonna
interesting?
invariably do it.
No, but Tom,
beat the price of
So let's encourage
No, but
them.
I'm
No,
just-
we're not. I'm not encouraging
use that
anybody to
as
do
a
it. Like you
negative
just can't.
You can't use that as a reason not to make music anymore.
Right. Like
And put it
you
out.
know what's gonna happen.
Sure.
Like, you can't avoid it. Somebody's.
And I
gonna do
remember,
it
I'm
somewhere.
glad
And I'm
like,
not
the
condoning
album,
it.
I'm glad the album evolved the way it did because I remember like right up front when we were first putting these songs down, you weren't even sure how you were gonna like what you were gonna do distribution wise.
Right, yeah.
If it was just gonna be something we did and then you just, here, this is what we did. And just
Right.
give it away or
it's in that product. It's in the packaging. It's, I believe, something of value, I hope, to people. And
Definitely.
it wasn't crowdfunded. It's me funded.
It was proud.
That's what it comes down to with the whole argument. I think if somebody's gonna digitally or illegally download something, the reason why you would pay for something is because you truly believe in the artist that's making it.
And if you've
You're supporting that person. That's literally you're supporting the person.
if you've been listening up until this point, I think you understand how much work and how much time it takes to put
Right.
something like that together. So it's not
And it
just
only takes 30 seconds to download. You
Right.
piece of shit.
yeah. So
No, really.
so keep
I mean,
that in mind.
There's a backstory behind it, and you're supporting the artist so they
But-
can continue to do that.
Yeah, but I mean, someone on Friday night wanted to buy a poster, but they didn't want to buy a CD because they said they were going to burn the CD.
They said that to you?
No, they said it to my wife,
Oh.
and she said, "Excuse me," and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to so and so bought it, so I'm going to burn a copy off of him." And she said, "Can you say that to me one more time, just to make sure?" Thinking that the person would catch themselves. And he's like, "I am going to burn a copy of this CD off of so and so who purchased it tonight." And I was,
What are you going to do?
okay, yeah. So yeah,
Isn't it amazing?
The industry is changing, and through different ways, you have to sell yourself in different ways, and it's going to happen. And hopefully, people realize that art is valuable, and the time that we we put behind it turned into 45 minutes of music that hopefully like I said, that people can listen in their cars or in their office or in the shower.
Yeah.
On
That's
the
why I
back
have
deck.
a Bluetooth. That's why I have a Bluetooth.
If we ever get an economics professor on to talk about my imaginary tax situation, I'm going to add the caveat of anybody who creates intellectual property should be allowed incredible tax breaks.
I'm cool with that.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I'm inventing an imaginary tax
because it's
system.
intangible?
I would enjoy that.
I would too.
Is it
This
because
is
it's intangible?
One of the I don't. Nobody knows this.
We
We've
never talked about
discussed
it.
This,
No.
have
No,
we?
yeah, not on the podcast. I don't think.
The impetus for us doing the podcast was that Lauren had this crazy idea of taxation and how we could better spend our money, and I'm like, we should get an economics professor and we can go in the studio and talk about it. And it's an amazing
And it
idea.
didn't happen yet?
It hasn't.
hasn't happened yet.
I can't find an economics
So we're
professor.
13 episodes in.
Right. So the thing is like, Rich started up NEPA Scene, and I'm like, I said, you should do a podcast. Or like, maybe you said it, or I think you said, hey, we should do a podcast. And I was like, Lauren and I were just talking about doing that. And we never thought about like episode 13. We just thought about economics professor.
Right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We'll get him
What
the
can we do
second
to
week.
make that a reality?
We have to make it a reality.
What can we do?
It'll
and,
happen.
and Lauren and I have discussed it. Not discussed. Lauren and I have discussed this. It came out like a G instead of
Disgusted. We're
Yeah.
disgusted.
We're disgusted at it.
We are disgusted with taxes.
No, and I'm not going to say the idea.
It's
but
fine.
It's a really cool idea, but I think we figured out that like it's probably impossible, but man, would it be a better use of money. So
Let's have somebody on here. Let's do
Future episode. It'll
all
happen.
right, if anybody knows anybody
Like the idea
who
of that.
knows maybe an accountant, I'll even
Yeah,
sell for an accountant.
leave us a comment. And
Yeah.
Speaking of comments, should we get to the
Let's
last
do
word?
it. We do this thing called the or don't you know? You don't listen, do you?
What is it?
What is this thing? What is
No. I've listened in the past. I've listened
This is
enough
a
to know
podcast.
that Jimmy still
a
isn't
podcast?
sure what a podcast is.
we call
And then
this
we could
verbal
call Lauren
communication.
Q.
Yes. Tom has been listening. This is the last word.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Now, of course, I'm up. Okay, now it loaded. Great. So I was going to do the comments on the Ghostbusters thing, but we talked about that already, so I didn't want to like repeat that.
Right.
One of the other things that I noticed was getting some comments because the wonders of the internet. You publish something 6 months ago or whatever, and people find it. Eventually. And we did a very popular story back in October, of haunted places in the area. The actual title is the nine most haunted places in NEPA. And now
One's my house, the other one's here.
obviously, this is meant to be taken with,
of
salt
salt, yeah.
and the fact that, it's for fun, we're not really like, pointing out all these,
but what you're pointing out is almost as detrimental as like the 5 best places to get a hot dog.
right.
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
yeah.
that's how like
well,
hurtful it is.
The thing is
Ruts Hut, Clifton, New Jersey.
Laura, who wrote it, she specifies specifically that there's, most of it is stories that are passed down, and it's not,
So these aren't attractions. These are actual.
yeah, these are actual
paranormal-
places that are supposedly haunted,
if
that
you
kind of
believe in
thing.
ghosts.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and that's what I wanted to get to is
I ain't afraid of
because
no ghosts.
there
listening?
is a guy.
I-
Well, there's a couple recently that just commented, just out of nowhere.
This is still in the realm of Ghostbusters if you think about it.
Yeah, it is actually.
Okay,
it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's purely coincidental that happened. One person says his username, I guess, is Jensama. I am skeptical about anything the Warrens say are haunted, considering they are frauds.
Oh, is this the people from The Conjuring?
I believe so.
They were the ones
with the haunted house in Pittston?
right? Yeah.
Okay.
They responded to the Amityville horror house.
Yes, that was one of their
Yeah.
cases too. Yeah.
They're-
And then this guy just commented a couple of days ago, Donald, he said, the Wells house in Wilkes-Barre is not haunted. I know this to be a fact. As my best friend lived there throughout the 80s and the 90s, and his mom lived there until her death in 2012, I've spent at least 150 nights there, and my friend nor any of his family have lived there for 20 years, have not experienced anything paranormal. This is a story that was made up by a local disc jockey in the mid-70s, not the least by haunted. I'm assuming he meant bit, but,
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you type on your phone,
it's internet comments, so,
yeah.
you can't
My phone always
expect
switches
proper
on to
grammar.
in, so
Well, I just want to assure
I'm always in
Donald
the toilet.
and Jensama and whoever else reads it that the editor's note: there's no such thing as ghosts. They're not real.
That we know of.
Okay, so therefore we know that this place isn't haunted. We know this other house isn't haunted. We're fully aware of it.
Yeah, let's
That's
have some
the whole
fun.
point. Yeah,
To
exactly.
be fair, actually, sometimes a haunting can increase the property value of a home. I speak from experience because there was a house in Dunmore I was looking at, purely because it was a big thing on Reddit.
Was that the one? Yes,
the
that blew
purple
up
house.
on the internet.
It was four
Oh,
bedroom.
yeah. Wait, was that the one where the guy was getting emails from like his dead? All right, that was a different one.
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
This was a purple house up in Dunmore. It was 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. It was a fabulous home, by the way. And this was
I
around.
like how you
It was
say
just haunted as shit.
Well, this is around the time that I was looking for a place, and I was like, I wasn't really thinking about home ownership. I was looking at renting a place. I didn't want to look for a mortgage, but then all of a sudden, this picture on Imgur shows up because I do Imgur. I don't do Reddit per se. So I'm on Imgur and I say this house. And the description of the home tells you 4 bedrooms, 3.5 baths.
Haunted.
Extremely haunted.
Extremely haunted.
Extremely haunted.
Cons.
May encounter a ghostly figure in the hallway or see figures behind you in the mirrors. And it just the
That's
list
just
went
like
on.
them with Marky and Jimmy.
It
though.
just the list went on about all these
like,
things.
like leaning from behind a corner.
So I was
grabbing
curious.
some
So I went on the website that the realtor was on, and I made a call because at the time I was talking
Because
to a
you
lot
ain't
of
afraid of no ghosts.
because I was talking to a lot of realtors, and actually
Did
the
you know
mortgage
who
would
you're
have
gonna call?
the mortgage was going to be less money than I was looking to rent. So I was actually kind of considering buying this house.
yeah.
And lo and behold, that afternoon, it went. I didn't even make it to my appointment. They sold the house.
Really?
Yeah.
Because they ain't afraid of no ghosts. Mm-hmm. What was
So do you believe in ghosts? Is that too personal?
I don't know how to answer that because I can't not believe in ghosts per se. I can't say that
So-
ghosts don't exist.
Do you believe in life after love? So you obviously do not believe in ghosts.
No, I don't.
Marky?
I'm on the fence, man. I think there's two. I think
I've seen proof. Yes.
See, okay, so I always had this idea. I wanted to start something called Ghost Huggers. And it would be kind of like based off of kind of Poltergeist, where these.
Oh, by the way, wait! Don't ruin the plot of Poltergeist because Jimmy hasn't seen it. I just got it on.
God.
Are you kidding me?
Wait! I just got it on Blu-ray today. We're supposed to watch it tonight.
Well,
Yeah,
anyway,
don't ruin
anything
it.
like paranormal.
Or I'll ruin
Another
this
weird
podcast
coincidence,
with the
by the
delete
way.
button.
Yeah, right. The whole Poltergeist thing.
Yeah, I'll ruin this podcast.
No, like Friday
if you
night
ruin the plot.
Friday night, I said to my girlfriend and Jimmy, I'm like, "Hey, have you guys ever seen? I don't know, because the trailer came out for the remake.
For the remake, yeah.
Hear this sound? Yeah.
Thanks.
Are you threatening?
You just threw it in the
Yeah.
trash.
No, it was just another piece of trash.
But I said to them, "Hey, have you guys seen Poltergeist?" And they're like, "No." So I immediately Amazon Blu-ray, fully remastered, and it just came at like 6:00 tonight. So we're gonna watch it later. So please don't ruin it.
So Ghost Huggers is pretty much me and anyone else who doesn't believe in ghosts, and we find people who are ghost hunters, and they try to convince us that there are ghosts in a specific haunt, and either we prove that they are full of shit, or we do find ghosts, and then we give them hugs.
Aw, I like that.
That's a
That's
good
nice.
idea.
I like that.
I could sell that pilot.
I did.
Ghost Huggers.
When I was
.net.
Jimmy, did you ever see that documentary that I did?
Someone's already registered it at this point,
.net.
like right now.
Jimmy.
Like just this second.
We could
We're
edit
not
it out and
live,
just put a
Rich.
bleep over it. What?
Did you ever see that documentary that I did on Casadega in Florida?
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
town?
I do. Remember that?
I was the guy that said that I'm in search of the devil to prove that God exists. Because back then I was nuts because I was still drinking and doing all this crazy shit. So I figured if you found the devil or like evil spirits or something, then anything could be possible. So we went
Ghost
looked, but-
Huggers.
I find that a lot of things can
Coming to
be
ABC
explained by neurological conditions
Huh?
as well as
It's a TLC show.
So
It is.
Ghost Huggers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Definitely TLC.
I think travel might take it.
Ooh, yeah. I'll take you there.
Yeah. What was the Ghostbusters comment?
Oh, there was just a lot of people that got a great.
Did they think you were like a chauvinist?
No, everybody got a great response because everybody understood that it was the opposite of that. That
Right.
there were several times that I mentioned that I wish it would be feminist, but it's not going to be. It's Hollywood isn't going to do that.
No.
They're gonna especially if you have somebody like Melissa McCarthy in there.
She's really talented.
Well, here's
Like,
the
that's
thing. When she first came on the scene,
Yes.
She was on a show called Gilmore Girls.
Yes, she
and
was.
She was very good on that
Dramatically.
show because she was progressive and it was well written because not everything was a fat joke. It wasn't pointing out that she was a bigger woman. I mean, she was just treated like a normal character, and there were very few references to that at all, other than the fact that she was a chef. And so I thought, here's a promising up and coming young woman who is a great actress and she's going to do well. And then as soon as she got big, Hollywood latched onto that and was like, here's all the fat joke scripts. Here's all the slapstick scripts. And ever since, she's been doomed to movies like Tammy or The Heat or wherever, where
I liked The
the joke.
I feel awful,
I
but
don't.
I liked it.
I don't at all.
I like Sandra.
Well,
Yeah, I rode in an elevator with her. I made her laugh.
did you?
Yeah, my dad wanted to kill me.
For making her laugh?
Yeah, I called him up. I said, Dad, I didn't even realize it was her.
Mhm.
I had to ride like 8 floors with her. I don't even know what I said that was funny, but she actually laughed.
Mhm.
And it wasn't until she laughed that I realized, like, holy shit, I'm on the elevator with Sandra Bullock. And then I got off the elevator. I'm like, have a great day. And I got off the elevator. And so she gets off the elevator and I'm like, Dad, I just in the fucking elevator with fucking Sandra Bullock. And he's like, fuck you. And I'm like, why? And he's like, she's amazing. And this was right when she was making, what was it called? All About Steve,
Oh, jeez.
which is the same year she won the Oscar for Blind Side. But that was where it was at. I was at LA Center Studios.
Did you have a mohawk at the time?
No,
Maybe that's why
that
she
a
was
year later.
laughing.
That was a year later. I had a mohawk. Yeah. So that was my Sandra Bullock story.
Fair enough.
Anybody else have one?
The mohawk was there, just the hair around it had to be chiseled away.
I have a horrible head.
But
My bald head just
Ghostbusters. ABC Family.
no, everybody liked the Ghostbusters
I
article.
thought it was well written. I thought it made some good points, and it wasn't going in the
Like a
directions we had
clothing line based
Well,
on all
yeah.
the stuff that you wear.
Because people the main thing that I've
Come on.
seen is just constant sexism in the comments of
thought. I never got that. I just
what's
thought it
wrong
was a
with
bad
being
idea.
no of
Nothing's wrong
the
with being sexy, Jimmy.
of every movie site that reported it, the comments and the social media comments, of course, were all filled with jokes about everything from being on their period, tampons, blah blah blah. We get it, ha ha ha, very funny. But
I don't know what that means.
sadly, I think Hollywood is going to go that route where all the jokes
you
are
know
going to
what?
be
If they
like
did-
that,
if they
which is going to
did-
be pretty awful.
Okay, I bet you and I can make a bet right now that there's going to be at least one period joke
Mhm.
in the whole thing.
In
At least
Ghostbusters?
one. The new Ghostbusters, yeah, at least one.
How?
Probably
Why?
Why?
Because it just
And
seems
how?
like that's the way it's going to go.
because it's by the people who did Bridesmaids.
Yeah, but Bridesmaids, she took a shit in the sink.
right.
You know what I mean? So, like, why is it out of character for them to do, like, one, like, even if it's
I think
subtext?
we have to rethink the Mulvey
Now.
test a
The
little
what
bit.
test?
The Mulvey test for sexism and everything. Because
Mulva?
Oh my god, I am.
Vipple.
Sit down. You're going to hurt yourself.
Actually, my hip already really hurts.
See, I think if they did it where it was like the cast of Bridesmaids like hunts ghosts, I'd be okay with that. But that they're calling it Ghostbusters.
Well, yeah, that's the main issue, I think, is
You know what
is
I
just
mean?
because when you like, and I broke down the structure like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man scene and stuff like that,
Yeah.
where you really think about the structure of the jokes and the way that it's written and how quirky and weird it is and
It should
how
have never been successful.
that's the thing is you really think about it, even just explaining the plot to people about Gozer and his minions and them, the
Right.
whole 9 yards. It's like, oh my god,
Vince Keymaster.
how did this get green lit? It's
Right.
amazing that it got as far as it did, and that it was as successful in the mainstream as it did, and the fact that it's this intelligent comedy, but mixed with sci-fi, but also you have the big budget blockbuster Hollywood kind of thing going on for it too, and that it all worked together. Because usually if it's a big blockbuster movie, it has to be stupid, it has to be dumbed down, and it wasn't at all, and it did very well. And too bad bad we didn't really learn that lesson and we make more movies like it. But even Ghostbusters 2 really didn't live up to. I thought I liked Ghostbusters 2, but a lot of people didn't, including the people who made Ghostbusters 2. So
How do they not
obviously,
like it? Where he's like, maybe we could learn to love each other.
Whatever happened to Peter McNichol?
He was on Ally McBeal for like.
Then what happened?
He was actually huge in the 80s. He was in, what was that movie?
Right.
Dragon Slayer?
He was in Dracula Dead and Loving It. He
It's a
played
horrible
Renfield.
movie.
I really don't care what you think about it because it's
a horrible
brilliant.
movie. I bet he's on a TV show right now. What was his
Lauren,
name?
I'll defend you on that. I
Thank you.
like
My
that one.
cousins and I had a Peter McNichol fan club when we were little.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
We had a rap and everything.
No one knows what to say now.
Whoa. You had like a rap?
Yeah.
A Peter McNichol rap? Jimmy, give me a beat.
Give me a beat!
It's not gonna happen.
What's your Peter
come
McNichol
on.
rap?
You have to ask my cousin Andrea. She remembers it.
Jimmy, can you do us a favor? Can you get Cousin Andrea on the phone, please?
Sure.
Hold on. Tina Turner's been holding. For... Is it time? Is it time? Tell me in love.
Did you hang up on Phil Collins?
Ow.
Did you shock your face?
My face, yeah.
Oh, I
sorry.
can't wait to put
heard
that on the
that.
video.
The video
I can't
just
wait to
died.
see that. No, it
just
didn't. It
died,
didn't
like,
just die.
literally 3 seconds ago, yeah.
God damn it.
No.
All right, we're done then.
I need a
All
bigger
right.
memory card.
Yeah, we're done. Tom, thank
Done
you.
here.
Yes, Tom, thank you so much for
Thank you,
coming
guys.
on. Please support Tom's upcoming shows. We have those listed on the site, so please go check them out, and we'll repost them so that everybody will see those.
I don't know if I have an audience that listens to me, but I honestly can say that this album is really, really awesome, and not because of my personal connections to the people involved in it. I would absolutely buy it, and I would absolutely enjoy it. And the cover and the packaging and everything is awesome, and I'm just really psyched for you, dude.
Thank you guys very much for having me.
You're very welcome. Thanks for being extra early.
You've had us all along, even if you didn't know it.
Ghost Huggers.
.net.
Buy the domain right now. I'm serious,
I think
Jimmy.
I might actually do that.
Lauren, get it.
Okay.
Ghosthuggers.net.
Yeah, I might
I'll do it. I'll link it right to NEPA Scene.
Anybody who looks up ghosthuggers.net goes to the podcast.
Perfect.
I can redirect it for now until
Let's fucking
Yeah.
do it.
All right.
Ghosthuggers.net. We'll
I'm
make you
signing in
executive
now.
producer, Tom.
I would enjoy that.
There's a lot of paranormal people in Northeast PA.
Yeah, a lot of groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should get them on.
I've
Not as a sideshow thing, but like to legitimately.
I'd
want to know.
I've legitimately interviewed some of those groups before.
How
But
hard
I mean-
is that for you though? But because you don't.
Well, you know what? It was funny because the main group that I did, they smelled the skeptic on me right away.
Sure.
And because they really wanted me to be impressed by everything, and I was just more curious about everything. I didn't in any way, shape, or form show that I didn't believe in what
or
they
was
were
it your
doing.
intention to expose them?
No, not
Right.
at all. It was just I wanted to explain, ethically, just to right down the middle, without any bias whatsoever. This is what they do. This is the equipment they use. That sort of thing. And the guy's
DVDs.
explaining it to me, and he stops and he's like, "You don't really believe in this, do you?" And I said, "No, I'm listening. Keep going. Like whatever."
Yeah.
And after that, it felt like they lost the momentum there. So I
Right.
kept,
Yeah.
I hung around for a while because I really wanted to see the investigation and watch what they did and stuff like that. So, I hung out for hours and hours and hours. And I put together this huge story, and I don't think they even linked it afterwards. I don't think they
Wow.
even said a word to me after that because I guess I didn't buy into it. They were just that disappointed. And I was like, but the story, I was proud of the story. I thought the story, the photos were great. The story came out good, but
I'm not
they didn't
saying
really
that-
pay
I'm not saying
attention
that-
to
look,
it. It's no, I'm not saying that you are.
I'll give you if you want. You can see that documentary that we did up in a town called Casadega. It's a town full of mystics and mediums and
Yeah.
tarot and all that shit. And I went in as the skeptic. I don't know if I told you this.
You did. Yeah, you mentioned
but I
a
was
while
the
ago.
one that walked out where it was like, man, this psychic comes up to me and like just says two things that were on my mind that like nobody could have known.
Coffee, smokes. You're like, holy shit.
What is this witchcraft? But no, they were very personal and they were very specific, and
Really?
it freaked the hell out of me. And you know, there's people who really like body language and stuff like that. And they
Yes, the
there was
basement of the
nothing-
Alamo. Yes.
Yeah, there was nothing that. There was no way she could decipher this from me, and that kind of it didn't make me a believer, but it made me a little less unskeptical, if that's a word.
Sure.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
So, did you buy it?
I'm almost there.
We're buying Ghosthuggers. Okay, so I'm gonna own Ghost.
You're
I want to own Ghosthuggers.
You're gonna own it, but it's on my server.
That's fine.
Yeah.
As long as ownership.
.net
is me.
though, not .com.
.net.
Are you getting it? Because I'm almost there.
No, I'm Jimmy.
Wait, Jimmy, you buy. Okay, you buy dot. Is it gonna be .net or .com?
.net.
Okay, I'll buy .net. You buy .org.
Is .com already taken?
Oh no, I didn't look for .com because everybody
None
was
of us
saying
fucking
.net.
look for .com.
That's what I'm asking.
.net is where it's at, really.
You get .com.
.com. You
All right.
You get
.com,
.com,
Jack.
Jimmy. You get .org.
.org. Who's getting .net?
Nobody's getting .net now.
Somebody actually owns NEPAscene.org.
Oh.
And-
Really?
Yeah. Well, when I bought the domain years ago,
Yeah.
years before I even started running the site, because I've had this idea for years, and so I reserved the social media and I bought
Just
the
never did
domains.
shit with it. You just got
Right,
It.
I
Yeah.
just hung on to it, but I just bought the .com, and so then of course when I'm ready to launch the site, I'm like, okay, I better buy the .net and all those other ones in case somebody else decides to get funny and buy them.
Right.
And sure enough, the
AKA
.org
be a
is
douche.
right.
Yeah.
And so sure enough, the .org is taken, and it's like some blog that somebody started and never did anything with, and if that always happens, and you're just like, maybe I should just message them and see if they'll just give it to me. And then it just recently fell off, like it just the
You
site
can set an
disappeared.
alert for that to be.
That's what I'm probably gonna do, Although now that I mention it on the podcast, I'm sure someone else is gonna do the same
That's
thing.
right. That's
but,
all right. You have approximately 12 hours to purchase that.
But I actually own I just recently did the paperwork and got the fictitious name NEPA Scene, so I actually
Awesome.
own that now and
Congratulations,
all that
man.
kind of stuff.
That's great.
Set up the bank account, all that
Awesome.
good stuff. So all that, yeah. So it's
Ghost Huggers.
Jimmy,
What?
get .tv too.
.gov.
Okay.
Ghosthuggers.org, and you're getting, and I'm gonna own ghosthuggers.com.
Is this for the address here?
No.
Then we have to get off the air and finish this.
Okay.
all right.
All right. Wrap it up.
Well, thank you so much for listening. Thank you, Tom, for being on the show.
Thank you guys very much. Again, I appreciate everything.
And
Thank you for making the music.
That's one of the nicest things somebody could ever say to you.
Q from Q.
I know. The next generation.
and NEPA Scene ain't afraid of no ghosts. Have a good night, everybody.
Wait. One more before we go.
I don't know if I have it up anymore. Let me see.
You don't have it up anymore?
Just say something. No, I don't anymore.
Just something.
Turn the knob.
no, I
something.
turned it off.
You bastard.
Yeah.
Can you hit that Huey Lewis note we talked about earlier?
Which one?
The Do you believe in love?
Do you believe in love? That's the best I could do today with the cold.
We'll take it.
All right. Thank you, guys. Nobody else?
Do you believe it's true?
All right. On that one, thank you, everybody.